Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Pramugdhad and it is so nice to meet you. The academic year almost coming to an end. My first year of college is ending, which is actually insane because I remember like worrying about which college I'm gonna get into, how to get into college, what college is like, planning outfits, like everything like it was yesterday, like it just happened a few weeks ago maybe, but it has been almost a whole year since then, and I thought I would share some of my gathered wisdom with you since my 1 year of college, like my first year experience. And I know so many of you are getting into college now and you also have the same questions, and I hope that I could be kind of like your big sister in this process and help you out a little bit as much as I can and answer all your college related questions. So yeah, let's get started. So I asked you guys to ask me questions on my Instagram, which you can follow if you're not already, and also on my YouTube community post for anyone who doesn't have Instagram. Let me first of all clear that out for you. First, if you've given any of the exams like CUET or the general exams, there are obviously colleges under it. So I think all you can do is wait until your result comes out to apply to those colleges. So in case you want to get into colleges that don't require entrance exams, like the college I go to, Ferguson College, it does not require an entrance exam, it just requires your board's marks. All you can do is sit and check the website, go through the website clearly. So in your free time, go through the website, figure out the website, and keep frequently checking the website for updates, because they post updates on when they want you to come, what the eligibility is, when you can submit your results, how you can get in. They post everything on their website, so make sure to check that out very frequently. There is no perfect college, there is no perfect course. At the end of the day, no matter which course you choose, you are going to end up struggling, even if it's in your dream college, or even if it's in your not your dream college. There is going to be stress, there's going to be pressure, there's going to be struggles. Go through the college's website or the course specifically and go through everything that it entails. So basically the subjects that it has, what the curriculum looks like, what the course structure looks like. Compare it to what you want. Make sure it aligns with your goals of what you want to do as a job, or it aligns with your goals of what you want to do for higher studies, like after your undergraduate. But most importantly, make sure that the course works for you and whatever they teach is what you're willing to learn, because again, college is an expensive and time consuming thing. You dedicate a few years of your life to it, you also dedicate a lot of money to it, so make sure you make use of it. Before we move further into the video, I wanted to talk to you about Unacademy's Aramb, and in case you missed it, there were so many big reveals done that I have to catch you up on. So the 1 year subscription for IIT JEE and NEET UG aspirants is available for 4,999 only, which was earlier 40,000. So it has been slashed down, but this offer is only until the 14th of April. So you make sure you check it out and you get the course before the 14th of April. There are many batches that have been announced for 2025 and 2026 aspirants, like the Nimbus, Nexus, and the Phoenix batches, with India's top educators that are going to start from the 17th of April. Also, the batches Maverick, Swift, and Falcon are being taught by offline educators, so you can get the experience of offline coaching from the comfort of your home. With the 1 year subscription, you'll get access to all of these batches and any other batches that get launched. Additionally, you'll get access to unlimited tests, practice questions, DPPs, PYQs, digital notes, and all of that, with doubt solving sessions and so much more. So make sure to check it out. In case you want to study offline, there is a 40% discount across all of Unacademy's coaching centers, so you can check that out as well. All of the links will be provided in the description below, so make sure you check it out. So let me first clear it out. I am studying Bachelor in Vocational studies of media and communication. What this entails is it has 70% practical and only 30% theoretical. After my course is over, I will be employable in the field of media and communication only because my course is 70% practical and they teach you employability skills mostly. And what you guys have asked me, bachelor's in journalism and media communication, is very different than my course, only in the sense that those are more theoretical and you have a lot more studying and pen and paper to do. I'll tell you my subjects and how much of it is theory and practical, because I think that would help with the previous question as well. Writing skills, which is a practical paper. I have understanding cinema, which is again a practical paper. I have journalism and communication, which is a theory paper. I have AV or audiovisual narratives, which is again a theory paper. Because of the NEP, I have two open electives which I got to choose whatever I wanted. So my first is French, and it's basically basics of French, and my second is sociology, again basics of Indian society. VEC, which basically deals with EVS, like environmental science. EEC, I have registered for cultural, so I have filmmaking in that, but again not much happens. So in my opinion, definitely college life. This is again very subjective for a lot of people. For me, I feel like it's definitely college because you have so much more freedom to explore, you have time to do what you want, and you're actually studying and working towards something that is ultimately your goal. You get to learn so many interesting things of your interest, which is the biggest part. Overall, a very, very different experience. Okay, first of all, it is actually fun. If you have good friends and if you have a friend group that's willing to do fun things, willing to explore new things, willing to explore new activities, it is honestly, genuinely, actually fun. If you're in your first year, first day, talk to everyone. Everybody there wants to make friends, trust me. I know, even if you're an introvert, at least try to ask questions, or even if there's like just a group standing, just go and stand there and you'll be included in the conversation. Say try to have a friend group outside of college, so people who you can come back to, get back to reality with, and just talk about your college experiences, because it's a lot. It's such a new experience that you just want people along the way. I would say the same thing. Like, if your competitive exam is your main focus, try to get a college that is not too stressful and doesn't take too much of your time, so that after you come back from college you can focus on your studies. Or try to get a dummy college where you don't really have to go and attendance doesn't really matter, then you just show up during exams and you can stay home and study for your competitive exam. Yeah, it is quite hard to get into, but if you even have above 90%, you still, the chances of you getting in are still high. There are a lot of lists that come out, so if you don't get in the first list, don't worry, there's a second list and a third list. The main thing about FC is, if they ask you to show up with your documents on a certain day, suppose you've gotten 92% and somebody else has gotten 94%, so their name is obviously higher in the list. If you show up there and the 94% person does not show up, you get in and they do not get in. More about punctuality and actually showing up. Wait for all the lists and show up whenever they require you to show up. In my college, it does not. And from a lot of my friends' experiences, ragging has not happened. Engineering colleges, there is somewhat still of a tradition, if that's what you call it, but not in my college. No, I've had no experiences of ragging. It is a little more difficult if you don't understand the language, and that's the same case that goes for FC as well. I faced this at the beginning of my college year, where I genuinely wanted to leave because people, obviously the classes are conducted in English, but there are people, lots of people who speak Marathi. At the time I didn't understand Marathi. I get it now, like I still can't speak very well, but I understand it now. And at the time I wanted to leave, I wanted to switch colleges because it was so difficult for me. If you find it difficult, try to make friends with people who are cooperative and they want to help you understand in case somebody said something in Marathi or like whatever language you don't understand, and they're willing to translate for you, because I've made so many friends and they are really nice, most of them. They are willing to translate. And there's also, you need to make friends with people who don't understand same things you don't understand also, because you have a relatability factor, and I feel like that's really important in friendships. I have some of those friends as well, and we, anytime anything is said and we don't understand, we're all like, is finding a guy in college as difficult as it was in school? Okay. It's very subjective, I would say. Finding a guy or a significant other or a partner or somebody to date. Environment is so much bigger, especially if you go to bigger colleges. The pool is a lot larger because it's not just your class or your grade. There are so many departments and so many people that you can generally never even, like, you can have your whole college experience and there's still like 50% of people you haven't met, even if you're actively trying to meet people. The options might be a lot more, but again, that's only if you socialize and make friends first. So make the first move. I support it. Remember that you are doing what's best for you. You studied there and you didn't like it. Now, especially with the new education policy, it's easier to like exit whichever year you want. So at the end of the day, you know what's best for you, you know what your goal is. If something you don't like, you don't have to push through for 3 years. Like, just get out of it, choose a different course, do it. Like, whatever works for you, do that. And speaking of friends, you'll eventually at least make one friend, or stick to your old friends. This is so important. Stay in contact with your friends and people who got you in school, because genuinely school friendships are so much more different than college friendships, and you don't want to lose touch with your school friends, trust me. You should take a gap year only if you feel like there is a big necessity for you to, because the next year, whichever college you get into, you have to give a gap year certificate. And this is from my personal opinion. What I've observed is every year the cutoffs get a lot higher, and you're competing with a whole new batch and not just your batch. So just remember that if you're confident about taking a gap year, go for it, but make sure you have something to show for it, for what you did in that year, because competition is scary, even in like, especially in like good colleges. So make sure you have something to show for it. But yeah. Okay, finally we'll talk about the academics and the academic pressure. So you do have a lot of assignments in college, but there are also extensions available if you really need it. For me, the experience has been that any assignment that we've also been given a considerate amount of time. It's obviously us that if we're given a week, we do it the day before submission. But in my part, any assignment that I've gotten that's even hectic or that's a lot to do, we have been given a considerable amount of time. So make sure you make use of that time, even though I am one of those people who do it 1 or 2 days before submission, which most of us are guilty about. Everybody has different perspectives. You might be studying a completely different course, obviously, which has different pressures. So again, this is very subject related. Obviously, sitting in class and attending a class is the same experience, but there's not much that is different academically in school versus college, except college, they, whatever they're teaching you, they start from the absolute basic level. Everything starts from basics, so if you are caught up from the beginning, there is not much you have to worry about. I have taken French, and it an easy language. Not a very easy language, but again, it's not one of the hardest languages out there. Duolingo really helped me, and my teachers are great, and they send us question banks. So if you practice and solve question banks even before the exam, it is a little easier. But again, that only gets you to the exam stage, and actually learning the language is a lot different. So if you're trying to learn a language, I would say go to a language class. Like if you're trying to actually excel at a language, go to a class. Like, okay, I know you guys have had enough of my yapping, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Also, if there's something I missed out on, or if there's a question I didn't ask, you can feel free to ask me in the comments. And if it's short enough, I'll try to answer all your questions in the comments as well. Or if you want a part 2 to this video, focusing on something else or focusing on something more specific, like my degree or something like that, I've cleared as much as I can in this video. But if you still feel like there's something you want, I can definitely make a part 2 later on anytime. So yeah, let me know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little bonus video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye bye.